Everyone, welcome to Pine Grove News Live. Let me go turn this music off. 6 o'clock, right on the dot. And we're here on the East Coast, like usual, in Connecticut, northern Connecticut, in the valley. Yep, right on the border of Massachusetts as well, fortunately sometimes. Well, blessings to you all, and have peace, throughout your weekend. It's Friday. It's Friday, thank God. Yeah, kind of a rough week, but oh well, have some bad ones, have some good ones. A lot of information out there today. A lot of information out all week. Where to start? Where to start? This is Sabbath, Friday, of course, at sundown for those who celebrate it on this day. Tomorrow, and tomorrow we're supposed to have 74 degrees and a little bit of sunshine. So, I'm going to take the wife and we're going to go on a ride somewhere. Don't know where yet. But, I got to take these days. It's springtime. I think we finally have a spring. It's been a while. I'm just trying to enjoy it. Living life more abundantly, hopefully, as best we can, because things are a mess. We're living in a dark cesspool, and whenever we can find the light to, let's just get out and enjoy it, right? What are we going to talk about? Well, there's obviously, we can always talk about weather. Yeah, just a lot of weather. I mean, the Midwest. I was listening to a YouTube channel called, I think it's called Never Lose Truth. I mean, she has a lot of good information, and she makes a lot of good points. But she just seems so very angry, Kind of reminds me, I guess, when I first started out. Yeah, and every now and then I get a little, I don't know, worked up. Some people would say. I don't say I would get angry. I get worked up. Some directions that we should have taken, some that we do take, shouldn't have, and you know how that goes. But she was talking about weather modification stuff. And she's with all the good points that she makes and the stuff that I already know, like we make clouds. We've been doing this since, oh boy, since it was probably way back, maybe even during the Second World War. You know how those ships out on the water there, they used to have ships that actually made, smoke screens, clouds. And they've been perfecting it ever since. They knew how to make a fog bank. You can see the other ships coming in. Of course, you can't see the other ones either. And so we get into this. We need to think about, the agenda. What's the agenda that we keep talking about? That this deep state, these elites, of course, we're not really, it's the powers, the elite, and we don't fight against flesh. We fight against principalities. It's a spiritual warfare. Yes, we take it on the chin. What they say, whatever happens in the spirit happens in the physical, and vice versa, or whatever happens in heaven happens on Earth and vice versa. But with this, they've known how to, and you can go to geoengineering.com or .org or .net. I forget which one exactly. I haven't been there in a while. You can find all kinds of information. It doesn't just talk about chemtrails. It talks about a lot of stuff that has to do with geoengineering. And 1 second, just going to go see if live at YouTube. That's PNG or PGN. Sorry, I keep getting my own letters mixed up. PGN Live, what the YouTube channel is called, and that is live right now. If you want to see the actual articles that go up. So this geoengineering, I mean, I've just been thinking for the past few days that we're not only at war with whomever. I mean, the war machine, the war principality, whatever. It's looking to start another war, and there's just so many places that are just right on the edge of it too. But this weather modification, okay? What's the next thing? I mean, government, the elite, whoever you want to call them. You know about our water being poisoned. You know about our skies being, chemtrailed. I mean, they're right out in the open now. Now, of course, we've known about it for a while, but now they've come out and stated that they are doing it, obviously. And with that, I mean, do you think that the United States is the only one that has it? No. I believe they all have it. I believe they're all in it together. And, this weather stuff is not just happening in the United States. It's happening worldwide. You've been listening. Where are the floods? They're everywhere. Earthquakes. We'll talk about the volcanoes. But what's the next thing that, is going to be attacked? I mean, they already tell us that we can't, collect our own freaking rainwater. Then they go and tell us that we're going to be taxed on the rain that lands in our yard. I mean, this is some of the California, so ridiculous, the demented, delusional entities or principalities there. I mean, to tax the rain that hits your yard. I can just picture somebody now trying to throw, putting in stakes and trying to throw up a tarp and just angle it into somebody else's yard. I mean, this is just crazy stuff. But this is the times we live in. There's just nothing that's not going to be, left uncovered. They're going to cover everything. Can't get off the grid, okay? You'd be fined for that. There's all kinds of these weird, maybe someday somebody will, put together a video just with these weird and crazy laws that they make up, and they're not subjected to them, only us. Can't get off the grid. You can't collect rainwater from your roof or any other way. In some places, you can't even have a backyard garden. And if you do, I mean, you're being told how much water you could use per day now. And they're going to make sure that, with this new program, the SIFT code, I think it's SIFT, SIFT code or SIFT something. It's like the Chinese good citizen score thing that we will never know what our score is, but they are scoring you. And it will be used against you, not for you. We talked about that SIFT thing last video. We talked about that on Wednesday, I believe. But we are at war, or at least the elites, the cabal, the deep state. They are at war with us. Well, we're not really at war. They're just trying to eliminate us and tried to make it so very hard. They're trying to just keep us down, keep us from raising up, making a fuss, questioning what they're doing, and if the chemicals in the air and the chemicals in the water aren't bad enough, now they're going after our food. Of course, they've been trying to do that for a while too, but now they have just gone out. We've got, all this weather in the middle of our country, the flooding. And now there's headlines out there about them having snow on top of the flooding. Say goodbye to the what do you call it, the grain belt. Say goodbye to that. We're probably gonna have to import all this stuff. The prices of all this is going to skyrocket, and this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to tear things apart, break things up. I'm talking about food and anything you do during the course of the day. They are going to find a way to tax you on it and charge you for it and fine you for it. This is what they're doing, and they're doing it to silence us and to keep us, pinned down. I mean, they all have weather modification, and they either go and do it against another country or do it to their own people. Well, the government's going to come out after this. They're not going to be able to plant crops this year, and some people are saying that they may not be able to do it for a while. Some people said that there's some of them that are just done. But we'll bail out the banks, okay? We'll bail out the insurance companies. We'll bail out the banks. What we should be doing is bailing out these people. What the hell's wrong with us? What is wrong with these? We are the controlling factor in this whole thing, and yet they've turned it around and lied to you again and said that they are in control. They're in control because you let them have that control. And now they've attacked the middle of our country and that food belt there. And next thing is going to be those dams over there on the West Coast. They still have all this snow pack in the mountains. The dams and the levees are at their capacity. And we're still going to get more flooding. They're talking about the flooding will not recede until at least July. They're talking about in the middle of the country. You got danger zones over there on the West Coast with these dams full to capacity. And they can create more rain. You notice that all these modified systems bring much more rain than they normally do. We've been tracking this for a couple of years now, right? 24 is the big number. Yeah. Season's worth of rain in 24 hours. 19 inches of rain in 24 hours. Remember when it first started in Texas years ago? Yeah. So, people, let's pay attention. Those people in those low-lying areas over there in the West Coast, they're talking about all kinds of, earthquake swarms now too, especially over there in Yellowstone. Again, some other place. They're talking about Yellowstone. But anyway, get out of there. Go take a vacation for a couple weeks. Move out of the area of the danger zones of these dams bursting. We've talked about Orwell. You've got the one north of Orwell that's in probably just as bad condition as Orwell or Orville. I don't know where I get Orwell. Please, let's all pray for those people over there. Let's pray for everyone. Let's pray that people wake up and people just wake up out of the darkness. Open their eyes. Hold on. I am hearing some music somewhere. Strange. Why do I hear music? Sorry, folks. It's just very strange. I hear music. Dogs aren't barking, so that means there's no car in the driveway with music blaring and a. Oh, now I do. All right. Well, you should hear the alarms barking, but I don't know why they're not barking today. It's strange. I actually have somebody walking in the house now. They're so docile today. I wonder what happened with them. I'm gonna have to check that out afterwards. But anyway, let's get started. To get over the rest of this news. What's going on? All right, I guess we'll start here then. This is from Strange Sounds. So keep all that in mind, everyone, man. Get these people from under those dams and other things and just get out of there. There's rumors that when they had the problems in Orville, that there was actually explosives planted there. They're talking about the Hoover Dam too, or have been talking about. That thing is ready to collapse too. We've seen it on, our currency, like I said 2 days ago. So anyway, the volcanic unrest continues, and with the current solar minimum, it is not going to stop in a while. Be prepared. Ongoing eruptions in Campeche, Costa Rica, Guatemala, Chile, unrest in New Zealand. They just had, that wasn't New Zealand, the 6.8 earthquake happened in Indonesia. And they did have a tsunami alert, but they canceled it 45 minutes later. So 6.8 there. And then we still got these volcanoes still going on. And they're saying because we're in this solar minimum and nothing much is happening. They're also saying that our magnetosphere, is collapsing, is shrinking. And we could be, being set up for something else. I mean, where's CERN when we need it? When they know, at least they come out and said, I hear helicopters. Very unusual, especially for this time of day. Anyway, so there were currently 19 erupting volcanoes. 19 of them. Remember, it only took that one back in the 1900s there to cause food shortage. One of them. I don't remember the name of it. Krakatoa. I don't know if it was that one or not. But anyway, 35. Okay, 16 in minor eruption states. 35 in total. Are you serious? So here's the map with all of them. Yeah, this is a lot. And this enhanced volcanic activity is not going to stop, according to this so-called solar minimum. That and you keep hearing that the North Pole is changing, moving rapidly. Let's move on. Also from Strange Sounds. Yeah, here's the headline anyway. Bomb winter storm Wesley's impacts. Power outages, schools closed, flights canceled, interstates shut down. I mean, they scream it out there and they make you become so fearful. I mean, these things normally happen here in New England. I mean, when we get a storm, of course, flights are going to be canceled, especially if it's an icy storm. I mean, they got to wait and de-ice these planes. I mean, this is normal stuff. Schools are closed. It's going to be tough traversing the roads. So, yeah, it's just normal. But they put these words in front of these things, bomb winter storm. bomb Cyclone. They just do it just to try, and because they know all these people coming up in this Common Core curriculum, 3 C's, okay, that have all been taught something else. Those kids think that they're entitled to everything without a challenge. And they're going to be fearful. They are fearful. They don't have God. Unless, you have a Christian family that has been, teaching them from the beginning. Of course, most of those Christian families don't have these children go to these schools. And parents. I hear about parents a lot lately. Parents of these schools, these children in these schools, and some of the stuff that they're trying to teach in these schools, like this, trying to have a course on LGBTQ, that kind of thing. Why does that have to be taught in schools? It's only about 6% of anything. It's a very small group. But it's funny how that very small group has, changed many things. But, the parents have, come forward. They're coming forward, and they're making a difference, and they're stopping these things. We need to pray for them and pray for the parents who are on the edge, what they should do. Give them understanding. Colorado and South Dakota activated their state of emergency operations center. South Dakota's governor closed state offices in 54 counties. The governor of Minnesota said the National Guard was standing by to help stranded motorists. Portions of interstates were closed in Minnesota, South Dakota, and Colorado. One person was killed in a crash with a snowplow near the Denver airport. So there's a lot of crazy weather and going on, and whether it be, God's will, using man to do it, whatever it is, it is. It's just out there. And you know your Bible a little bit. These are the times we live in, and it will get worse. Some say that we won't get to see the worst of the worst, that we will be raptured out, but time will tell. This is from the Watchers. Sudden strong rainfall leaves 7 dead, 4 missing in Guangdong, Shenzhen, southern China. And don't forget, we're not the only ones on this earth that are going through these weather things, these weather wars. Call it what we will. Debbie Traveris, weather wars. That's what she calls it. I think I'm going to start using that too. Yep. There's crazy weather everywhere, man. Yeah, this one's crazy. I just saw this one today. Numerous car crashes as severe dust storm creates zero visibility in Lubbock, Texas. Go figure. You got dust storms here, and we got green dust storms, kind of. I forget where they were talking. It might have been in, excuse me, it might have been one of the Carolinas. They were talking, they had this haze over their town of the pollen. And then, of course, well, watching from California said that there is a YouTuber out there who puts out news for Southern California, and that they've got green stuff growing out of their cement and sidewalks, and everything's growing green. Something's going on in Southern California. We'll try and keep you up to date on that one. That's the first time I've heard of it. Gonna have to go check out that YouTube. And I don't know who she is yet, but I'll have to find out. So, NWS reported sustained winds of 65, or this make it 40 to 50 kilometers. an hour and gusts to 117 kilometers. That's 73 miles per hour. That is hurricane force winds. I believe it's 70. It's either 70 or 75 is a category 1 hurricane force wind. Along with the low humidity and warm temperatures prompting red flag wind and blowing dust warnings for Lubbock County and much of the South Plains. And you got, I mean, in Mexico, coming up from Mexico, southern western Texas and into New Mexico. Crazy. And, well, we got a little video here. See what the video. Yeah, let me put this. Hold on, before I do this, I have to put this out there. Okay. That is the fair use. I still will probably get flagged for copyright because usually when personal videos like this go out, unless I can, give them credit, whoever that is, the Lubbock Police Department. Okay, so that is considered fair use. If it's from a person, then you have to mention the person, and I have no problem with that. And this is from the Lubbock Police, and let's continue watching. Just totally amazing. Yeah, there's a bunch of car wrecks. Okay. Yeah, that would scare the heck out. You ever go behind a plow during in the winter when you saw, in a snowstorm? I mean, it was bad enough the snowstorm, but you get behind a plow going on, one of these minor routes, like say Route 5 here. Total whiteout. I could barely see the light from the headlights of the truck, barely. And I was afraid to stop, so I just kept going. It was very scary. I don't remember exactly what I did. I know you got to think about slowing down, creating a distance between you and the plow, or get some kind of a view and go around it. But I don't remember exactly how I reacted to it. Just that it was pretty darn scary. This is from the Big Wobble. 2019 is the year when the farming industry began to unravel, as extreme weather and disease is hitting already stressed farmers around the world. Okay? Around the world. We're being attacked. Our food supply is being attacked. I'm telling you, other people have mentioned it. I'm not the first one. Been under attack for a while, but these are just out and out obvious attacks on the food chain. And just listen, if California and the West there on the West Coast, if those dams break, you're going to lose the whole Sacramento Valley. And that is 60%. They supply 60% of our fresh vegetables and such to the United States. My brother does cross country, from east to west coast. And supposedly there's going to be some truck strike. I haven't heard anything from my brother, so I don't know if I believe that one. But if we lose that Sacramento Valley, I mean, there's more of our food gone. We're going to have to start eating our MREs. I hope that doesn't happen. Let's pray that it don't. Let's pray that the Lord He promises to provide for His children. Doesn't mean that He's going to supply it for the tares, for the people who don't believe. So you need to understand that as well. At these times, you are going to see people perish. A lot of people. You go to Psalms 91, and it talks about 10,000 at your right hand, 1,000 on your side, on the other side. That's a lot of people. You will see the evil people die. The ones who will not believe, who refuse to. Now, maybe you'll see a lot more if you don't or not raptured. I'm getting, sometimes I just wonder about some of these. We're supposed to go through tribulation. We're supposed to be raptured. But when? And we're supposed, anyway, let's talk for another time, I guess. No sense in talking to you when I can't quite figure it out in my head at the moment. I got something else to do. Trump considering sending illegals to sanctuary cities. I heard that on the way home, even on the mainstream news on my AM radio. Yeah, and why not? They want to be sanctuary cities, send the illegals there. See how they can make it without federal money at that point. Because a lot of these states, especially like California, they receive federal grants, federal money, and they're not going to anymore. They want to be sanctuary cities, let them be. Okay, there you go. I think it's a bold move on the president's part, making a point. Good for him. This is from IntelliHub, 11-year-old girl shamed by teacher. This is what I'm talking about with the school curriculum and the freaking mindsets of these teachers and the faculty. 11-year-old girl shamed by a teacher for picking President Trump as her hero, told to choose somebody else's hero. That's just wrong. I hope they find that teacher, and I hope they get rid of him or her. Liberalism has now infested most of the public schools throughout the county or country, and teachers have now resorted to blocking students from expressing their own free thoughts as America's education system heads down the tubes. This is a democratic thing. You think the way we want you to think. Yeah. Don't worry, you'll all be taken care of. You all will get, your MREs, delivered to your door every day. And you just go to work and bust your butt for 12 to 16 hours a day. Do so while AOC and Warren and all the other Democrats, they will be living high on the hog. No pun intended, right? No, definitely pun intended. Iham Omar. Yeah. Pigs fly. Okay, so I haven't listened to this video. I'm not going to right now. That's just crazy stuff. And this I don't get either. This I got something to say about this, of course. End time headlines put this one out. Scientists place human gene into monkeys to make them smarter and more human-like. You know what I have to say about that? Why? Why would you do that? This is how deluded and delusional, definitely delusional, and just way off the common sense and anything else you want to put in there, man. All this money to put a human gene in a monkey to make him seem more human-like. Why? All that money could have been, give it to the poor people. Give it to the homeless that are still homeless from these hurricanes that the cabal or the elite have rained down on these people on purpose. And next is going to be the pestilence. It's going to be the starvation. It's going to be the diseases. We'll talk about that fungi thing that is now increasing. And all these other things that they're going to try, have, use the excuse of, all this water and all this debris and chemicals and everything else mixing together. Yes, it will cause big problems. Why waste a disaster, right? You've heard that before. They'll probably go and add stuff. Yeah, for the first time, a team of Chinese scientists. Well, go figure. I don't even know who was doing it, but China's done it. Made use of the gene editing techniques to make monkey brains more human-like. By the end, the monkeys' rhesus acus got smarter and had superior memories as compared to the unaltered monkeys. Well, let's. Oh boy. It's just crazy stuff like this. I mean, to increase the monkey's memory, what about the memories that are being attacked through all this chemical invasion? Yeah, I'm talking about vaccines. I'm talking about everything else, the sky, the spraying, the poisoning of the waters. And when you get all this flooded, that all mixes in too. It's going to travel everywhere. It's going to seep into the ground. It's going to get into all these wells that people cannot use anymore. And we can't collect rainwater? Well, hold on. The government will give you free water. Just sign your name here and go to the nearest FEMA camp near you. You will be re-educated and you will have all the water you need and food. Yeah, that's what they're gonna do. You always ask yourself, how you're not gonna go to a FEMA camp. You're not gonna be that bad. You're not gonna take the mark of the beast. Everything will be okay, right? Until there's no food to eat, no water that's good to drink, unless you got some kind of filtration and got a way around it. You're going to be reliant on the government. They're going to have it. Don't you worry about it. They're bigger and bigger than you even dreamed. They don't have water. They'll just make the clouds and make the water. Hell, that's just a couple chemicals, right? H2O. Two hydrogens, one oxygen, right? Something like that. Not a chemist. Yeah. There's FEMA camps everywhere. They got, what, 10 regions last time I checked. They got them all. There's a few more Walmarts that have been closing, so I wonder if they're going through their plumbing issues, or are they, building more, putting up more wire and fences. Yeah, wonder what. Okay, this is a story. Okay, you probably all already know about this, okay? The Assange arrest. Just some crazy stuff that was going on. I saw it, I think it was a live feed from RT. I don't know if it was yesterday. Was it yesterday? Anyway, Ecuador undid their sanctuary and let Assange be taken out by authorities. I guess he needs to stand. He missed a court date. That was what the whole thing was about, and some other things. I mean, there's all kinds of stories out there. He was letting his cat go anywhere in the apartment. Apparently, he did too. Made a mess of the place. Anyways, he didn't look too good when they took him out in that chair or whatever it was. But yeah, I mean, you give this guy sanctuary for 7 years, then all of a sudden one day you decide that you're not going to anymore. Something about he wasn't in his apartment or wherever it was at the time, and they wanted to catch him before he went back into his apartment. Because supposedly the Ecuadorian embassy and the staff there were worried because he kept mentioning something about a panic button that he was going to go push. And that probably would have been some kind of, email dump or data dump. But in any case, he is and has been arrested, taken out, carried out. He's going to have to face those skipping bail and court hearing charges. And then, of course, the United States is now going to get the chance to extradite him, whatever, for accessory to that charge of the other one, spying, hacking government files, and all those things that we saw years ago. They're going to have him be arrested for that, for conspiracy, and he could get up to 5 years for that. Yeah, and we still got that guy in Russia. I forget his name. I have a couple different feelings about those things. In any case, every country have their spies, and they go out and spy, and they go and surveil. Okay, if that's a better word for some people. And some of it's for good, and some of it's for not. I mean, I think that everything should be in open. That's how I am. I mean, whatever. I have skeletons in my closet, but I really don't care if somebody sees or hears about them. Everyone does. We're human. We make mistakes. We sin, or we are sinful people. We're flawed people. We need, divine intervention, and we will have it. You can have it. Anyways, Congresswoman calls out Assad's arrest for what it is, a threat to Americans to toe the line or else. It's just another attack on free speech and access to anything that anybody's doing. That's why we have oversight committees and all that other stuff, besides, spending billions of dollars to research something that never happened. And whoever's involved in that, okay, I agree that they should all be indicted for one and have to pay back all that money, because those people made big time money, and they are making big time money on every day that they're there. All the handshakes and the deals that goes on, all these laws that are passed to better somebody else, not us. We get the laws where it just suppresses us. They get laws changed to help them. And in turn, they get money. They get bonuses, whatever it is. Bribes, call it for what it is. That is our government, and it needs to be changed. Definitely needs to be changed. And there's only one way to have something like that and have it uncorrupt. There's only one way, and I'll let you all figure that one out. It's certainly not us. And this was the picture I saw from RT. Man, he looked so much different. He was so much older and frailer. Than him standing out there on the balcony that one time. Yeah, he talks about the panic button. Yeah, don't know exactly what that is, and it's not in that story. So, plenty of stories. I don't know what's going to happen, but they're going to make an example of him, or they'll just disappear him. Yeah, arrested in Ecuador embassy in London. Oh, that was a quick story. So we'll keep you up to date on it, but I know what's going to happen. Just like I said, he's going to, going to have some big show somewhere, or we'll not hear from him again. Well, here's some lowly little back page article in the paper that he went to court, whatever, stood, was arrested for this or that. Anyways. I don't know if we want to talk about this yet. 3 portals. Charisma News, okay? I don't want to talk about it at the moment because it can get lengthy. 3 portals for demonic entry that are destroying the U.S. You think about what 3 portals that we opened. You figure that out when I go and finish these last 2 or 3 articles. If I can remember, I'll come back to it. 3 portals that we opened. Doors that we opened. Consider it a door. They call it portals, I call it a door. How can you open doors? Okay, so in the meantime, this is an update on this mysterious E. coli outbreak. Expands in 5 states, 96 people diagnosed. Last time I checked, they didn't know how to treat it. Anyway, more people have been sickened by a multi-state E. coli outbreak. And last time I knew, they didn't know where it came from. Here it is again, outbreak with an unknown source, according to the CDC. Health officials said so far 96 people have been infected with E. coli 0 or O103 in 5 states. Kentucky has the most cases with 46 ill people, followed by Tennessee with 26. Yeah, I know some people in Tennessee. I should ask them about that. And Georgia with 17. Ohio, which is a lot further north than these states. Why there's this big gap in the middle. Maybe somebody's not reporting it. Ohio has 5 cases, and Virginia has 2. So 11 individuals have been hospitalized as a result of the outbreak. No deaths have been reported. CDC says the investigation is still ongoing, and officials have not yet identified a specific food item, grocery store, or restaurant chain at the source of the infections. Oh, it's simple, man. You had plenty of time to find out where these people went to, what they have in common, where they shopped, where they ate. It's a matter of asking questions. I don't think they want to tell you. Well, here's from CBN News, Christian perspective. Bomb cyclone unleashes new hardship on flood-ravaged Nebraska and the Midwest. So after being hit by devastating floods from a late winter storm 1 month ago, Americans in part of the Midwest are experiencing hardship once again. And we talked about this. It seemed more like late January than mid-April when the second bomb cyclone struck millions of Americans. A bomb cyclone is when cold air meets warm air. Yeah, we don't call it a bomb cyclone. Yeah, it's a disturbance. It's when those two things meet, they're opposites. Brings freezing temperatures, high winds, heavy snow. This one brought up to 30 inches of snow in parts of the Midwest, 70-mile-per-hour winds. Travel chaos from Colorado to Texas, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Minnesota, and the Dakotas. And from World Israel News, after Netanyahu's victory, will Israel annex towns of Judea and Samaria? Yes, that's being talked about, people. Somebody mentioned that the other day when after Trump backed Netanyahu on about the Golan Heights. They have a right to keep it. And the West Bank, why not the West Bank too? It was originally theirs, wasn't it? Anyways, time will tell for that. We know things are pretty hot over there. I'm waiting for that Damascus call. Yeah, and this is just an article on the 6.8 earthquake in Indonesia. Called it a magnitude 7 tremor. So this is just a bunch of people driving up and down the streets. One woman is carrying a baby. Looks like she's in a hurry, and that's all it is. And, that's it. We do know that the tsunami warning was canceled 45 minutes after that. That's all the news we got. That's all the news we got. But let's go back just for 1 second back to this 3 portals for demonic entry that are destroying the U.S. Anybody have any idea what those three are? What portals? What do you think that's going on in this world that have just opened these doors to these dark demonic entities? Well, here we are. Abortion is number one. It says right here, Ephesians 6:12. That's also the armor chapter. Ephesians 6. For our fight is not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, and against spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Those who are familiar with the writings, or he says my writings, no, I don't usually mince words. The devil is always behind sugar-coated truth and a slimy tongue. Be sure of that. Abortion, homosexuality, and Islam are the greatest dangers facing America in the 21st century. Each of them has opened up portals of entry into our culture and way of life. These are ideologies that have infiltrated the minds of multitudes, shaped and fueled by the unprincipled mad media. Abortion is not an opinion about what women might have a right to do or not do with their bodies. That's the devil's facade to hide what it really is. Willful abortion is murder at any point of a woman's pregnancy. It's a demon like the Old Testament god of Moloch, to whom people sacrifice babies. It's the same altar where many Americans now worship. Think about it. While there are abortion rights that have killed 60 million babies in America alone, well, the answer is mainly because of fornication and adultery. Yeah, very sinful nature. Trying to say that at the same time, obviously. We have a sinful nature. Anyways. There are some cases of rape and so forth, but that's very small majority. Yet it's one of the main talking points of what people debate on. It's hogwash. Sexual immorality is the biggest reason we have abortions. People want sex without the commitment and convenience of marriage and responsibility of the consequences. In fact, what they say by their actions is, a baby will ruin my happiness. Kill it. How much more demonic can it be? But do you know what is fueling the increase of promiscuous sex and now pedophilia, as well as all sorts of perversion? One word: pornography. If you shut down the billionaire industry of pornography, you will radically decrease sexual immorality and perversion on every level. Abortions will also decrease exponentially. Pornography is another portal of entry for demonic access. I agree. These evils are all linked together. It's Satan's master plan and World Wide Web. Homosexuality. How about homosexuality? He said that he wrote an article over 4 years ago on homosexuality being a demon. And demons flew from every direction to attack my words. People were calling our ministry phone, wrestling or writing nasty comments, sharing the article with right-wing watch groups and mocking it. They were fuming in venomous rage. That alone proves it was a demon, because it's the very point that nearly everyone attacked. People accuse me of having no compassion, but guess what? I also received calls and messages from homosexuals who knew I was telling the truth and wanted help. My compassion was directed toward those. Now, it's not only acceptable in our culture, but it's celebrated and legalized. And it's growing, people. We're in that days of Noah. The days of Lot. Sodom and Gomorrah. What did God do with them? Demons, through the agency of deceived people and lawmakers, pushed it through and legalized it. When they did it, it opened up a larger portal of entry for the release of more demons and the rule of a principality in our nation. As long as the majority of people want their demon gods, God will let them have them because he honors the human agency of free will. A debased mind void of judgment will be their most terrible portion. Romans 24 through 28. Eventually, homosexuality will destroy the culture of a nation and bring down the judgment of God, as it did in the days of old. Wherever homosexuality is prevalent and, alas, made law, even rulers and reigns and everyone who fights it is preyed upon. Islam. Now this one will make people angry. The mask of Islam is that it's a nice religion of peace, but much of the gullible populace has swallowed this lie, hook, line, and sinker. Have you ever read the Quran and the ideologies that are written therein? The Quran says Muslims must not take infidels as friends. 328. Any religion other than Islam is unacceptable. 385. Maim and crucify the infidels if they criticize Islam. 533. Terrorize and behead those who believe in scriptures other than the Quran. 812. Muslims must muster all weapons to terrorize the infidels. 860. The unbelievers are stupid. Urge the Muslims to fight them. 865. When opportunities arises, kill the infidels whenever you catch them. 9:5. The Jews and the Christians are perverts. Fight them. 9:26. Make war on the infidels living in your neighborhood. 9:23. And that's what Imam Omar told everyone to do. Told everyone to stand up, speak out, and make it uncomfortable for your neighbors. That's what she went out and did this, and she should be arrested for that. That is, tantamount to, she trying to be riotous, cause sedition, create separation amongst American people. I don't know how the heck she got in there. And second of all, how she was able to swear her allegiance using the Quran. You've heard all these things that are from the Quran. Wow, we are so messed up. According to its own holy book, this is a religion full of hate that believes it does God a service by killing all non-Muslims, especially Christians and Jews. Jesus warned of us of such. They will put you out of the synagogues. Yes, the time is coming that whoever kills you will think that he is offering a service to God. John 16:2. Yes, some Muslims are good, peaceful Americans. But when push comes to shove, they will stand with their ideology. The more people understand the entire Islamic strategy to kill and conquer, the more society will wake up to it, and the better it will be for an American and its future. This religious war is full and deliberately thought out, methodical strategies to take over every nation Islam enters. And how many nations has that been past 2 years, people? They're all over the world now. They've made their little move, or actually it was a big move. It's called jihad. This dark Islamic strategy is so much bigger than the average person realizes. The big plan jihadis have devised for America is to destroy it from within. How many have come over the border since Obama? How many have been here for a lot longer than that? You've heard of sleeper cells. Talk about it all the time when we talked about the Cold War between Russians and the U.S. All kinds of sleeper cells. We're an open society. We just let people cross the borders with, we don't vet them. Some of them have gone through. Why do we let them through? Find out who they are. Yeah, they're already here. They're already here. And Imam Omar is calling them out to create problems. Rise up and make it uncomfortable for its neighbors. Us, you. And yet she still sits there in our government, in a government role. This world is so upside down. God bless you, everyone. Peace be with you this weekend. Let's pray for these people. Let's pray for an awakening. It'd be a miracle. But only one I know who performs them. Jesus Christ. So keep your family close. Know where they are. Keep your loved ones close. Learn to forgive. And especially forgive yourself. A lot of people can't do that. But you need to. The only way you're going to be free. Believe me, I was there too. Didn't want to forgive myself. Still shake my head at some of the things that I've done. But you know what? I am forgiven. So if Jesus can forgive me for my past, present, and future sins and acts, then I have to learn to forgive myself. And I have. God bless you all. Have a great weekend. Peace out.